They say a clean cut makes a confident outfit. So in today's tutorial, I'll be showing you step by step on how to cut this beautiful top. If you're seeing my video for the first time, I'm a fashion tutor. Do where to go through the videos on my channel, do where to like, share, comment, and turn on the notification bell. Also, I do create content at my leisure, so you probably might not be seeing just fashion tutorials. I post funny content, cooking vlogs, and more, but more of fashion tutorials though. So I made this top about a year ago, no, 2 years ago. Actually, I made it 2 years ago, but someone requested for the tutorial, so I'll be showing you step by step how to cut it. Is very simple. So this is the fabric we'll be using for our tutorial. So as you can see, um, in the video, it's a top, not just a top, but a flared top that has buttons. That is to say, a shirt flared top. Let me put it that way, a shirt flared top. So the first thing you need to do is, our fabric is not big enough, but trust me, you'll understand this better. We'll just be using a random measurement for cutting it.
Now, the first thing you need to do is to fold your fabric in a triangular form, just like you see me doing in this video. You fold your fabric in a triangular form. That is what will give you the flay effect. Okay. Now, after folding it in a triangular form, we'll start by getting our measurement. So most times, what I do most time is I will just roughly check, place my tape to be sure of where my shoulder will sit properly or where my bust measurement will sit properly. And another thing you should understand is both sides are not equal. Of course, you can see that one side is longer than one. So both sides are not usually equal. Now, when you fold your fabric in that triangular form, don't just place your tape and say, this is my bust or this is my shoulder. Instead, measure it step by step from top to bottom. Okay, let's take for example, let's say we start with 10 inches, you measure 10, 10, 10 round all the way and connect your line. Now, after you check and see that it's not giving you the exact bust or shoulder measurements you want, you try again. This time around, probably try 12 or try 15, and then you cross check to be sure it's accurate. The point is, you keep adjusting until you find the right measurement that gives you your burst and shoulder properly on that triangular fold. That way, your flare will drop well and your button line will sit neatly. So for this particular one, we'll be using just a random measurement. So I'm assuming the shoulder is 14. Of course, you know this is on fold. So when you open, I'll be using 7 so that when you open, it will give the 14 that I want. So I started with 15 inches because I've already done a rough check to be sure where the 14-inch shoulder that I want will align. So I started marking 15. Of course, you see what I'm doing here. You place your tape, you mark, you place your tape, you mark. When you are done with this, then you connect it with your ruler. Okay. And please, I forgot to add, before then, be sure that um, the length is enough for your top. Make sure after getting this point, place your tape from that point to the end to be sure it's enough for the length of your top. If it's not enough, then you get a probably a bigger fabric or you fold it another way to be sure it's enough for the length is enough, like it's the exact length that you want. Okay. And what I'm marking now is where my buttons are going to sit. You minus 2 inches where your buttons are going to sit. And I forgot to add that when you are locating your shoulder, be sure that the the fabric that you folded will accommodate your bust measurement as well. Of course, you know you are not using your exact bust. Okay, let's assume that your bust measurement is 40, which is 10. You make use of 60, which is 15, because this is a free top. So if you are making use of 15, you are going to add 2 inches when trying to get where your shoulder will sit, or when trying to do a rough check to be sure it accommodates your bust. You add the 2 inches, then you assume, okay, 15 plus 2, which is 17, then you add your sewing allowance like 1 inch, which is 18. So altogether, what you should be estimating is 18 inches. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Just to be sure that it will accommodate both your bust measurement and where your buttons will sit. So when trying to get the measurement for your shoulder, first of all, be sure that the measurement will accommodate your bust. I think the best thing to do is be sure the measurement will accommodate your bust, because any measurement that accommodates with your bust will definitely accommodate your shoulder. Okay, so when you are done, from that place you mark your 2 inch, 2 inches rather, you start taking your body measurement. From there you locate your shoulder, then you go down by 8 inches for your armhole, which you saw me do initially. Go down by 8 inches for your armhole. Then you start taking your body measurement from that place you marked to. Of course, you know the 2 inches is where your buttons will sit. So from that place you mark to, you start taking all your body measurement. So but make sure um the measurement you'll be adding to your exact measurement will be big, so that the top will come out very free. Don't use your exact measurement. Okay, that is it. So any measurement you want to use, you mark it and you take it down. Okay, you take it down. Let's assume I'm using 60. When I mark 60, I'll take it back in an A line form, not straight. Just take it down from the bust, A line. Don't take it straight. You get what I'm saying? Take it slant. You draw as if in a slanted form, not in a straight form. Okay, that's it. Very simple. Then from there you get your, from the shoulder, of course, from the shoulder you get um your top length. You get your top length. You'll be placing it from, you place it from the top to the bottom, all round, to start getting your top length, just like you see me doing. Don't just assume, because of course you know the two sides are not equal. One is longer than one. Okay, one is longer than one. So if, as you see me do in this video, you do the same thing. Okay, so and that, you start taking your measurement from shoulder to down. You measure. When you are done measuring, you connect all the dots together. You connect all the dots together, and that is it.
The next thing to do is to take your shoulder slope. You come down here by 1 inch, and then I'm just going to be using my free hand for this. Come down here. Then you take your neck measurement for the length. It depends on how wide or how big your neck is. Come down by 4 for the width. Went in by 3, and then you connect. If you don't trust your free hand, you can use this. Okay, you can use this too. No, that is it. Why cutting the back? Why cutting the back? Hmm? You use the same pattern. except you're not, but you're not going to be adding the zip, the buttonhole allowance where where your buttons will sit. You're not going to add it to the back, but you add every other thing. And of course, when cutting the back, for the length, you'll be making use of just 1 inch. For the width will be the same, but for the length, you'll be making use of just 1 inch. Okay. When you're done, make sure to notch here. So this is it. Of course, this is that I use 3 for the width does not mean when your client is slimmer or smaller, you should use the same. No, you can use 2, you can use 2.5. It depends on how big your client is or how fat they are. I don't know. So this is what you get at the end of the day. So it's very simple, it's not difficult. Do the same thing for the back without adding this. You do the same thing for the back without adding this, and you are good to go.
Thank you very much for watching, and see you in part 2 on how to cut the sleeves, which is a bell sleeve. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel.